Get ready. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Start. Mr. Deputy Chairman, after hearing this discussion, which has been threadbare, there is very little new to be said on the subject, and I will just say a few words by way of expression of the public views on this important measure. As we have seen since morning, there is no section of the House which has welcomed this measure. This is apprehended to be necessary because we have seen there are two main things as far as this amending bill is concerned. One is in regard to the summary eviction of the occupants, and the other is unauthorized occupation. I would like to say that it may be that administratively the government is faced with some difficulty, but as it has been stressed in this House, this question is more of a human nature than of any other administrative difficulty. Who are the people who are affected by this measure? In the first instances, they are very poor people who are living in slums and in those undesirable conditions, or they are refugees from Pakistan. We have seen that even rich people who came to India as refugees have had to take shelter in any corner or in the verandas or on the pavements wherever they could find a little accommodation, and they have lived for years under conditions which were most unhealthy and undesirable. In due course of time, these people have been able to put some roof over their heads. As it is, it seems that the provision which are sought to be provided in this amending bill are very innocuous. But in view of the fact that it will affect mainly the poor people and refugees, naturally it becomes a human problem, and the legislators have to be very careful before they give their assent, because they have to deal with the public directly, and therefore whatever comes before the House, they have to see from the public point of view. I would submit that ordinarily there would be no difficulty in giving assent to this bill. Firstly, even when they occupied the premises, they had to face real harassment at the hands of the municipalities and also the Improvement Trust and others. Now that they have got some shelter over their heads, if they are to be removed from there, they have to be treated very kindly. I dare say just now the Honorable Health Minister, in a very sympathetic way, explained the real position, and I am sure the conditions would be as she has promised them to be. But even then, we will have to take the extreme cases and see that these unfortunate people who were at one time middle class people or even rich people and are today refugees do not have to run from pillar to post for even a little space and a little shelter over their heads. If due to some mistake of the authorities or red tapeism or due to ordinary administrative difficulties, the lower authorities take a strong view of it, then this is conditions would become really harassing and very inconvenient. I would therefore submit that this summary eviction is a great sting in dealing with such kind of people who are very poor and especially who are refugees. As far as the land is concerned or the premises are concerned, government already possess the authority and power. Now they want to extend this authority even to the houses, and therefore this summary eviction is rather an unobjectionable thing. I do not know what difficulty the government feels in not going to the law court whenever any person becomes unreasonable and he has to be removed and he does not want to go. More than one honorable member has on the floor of the House stressed this point, and I will submit that the sting will be taken out of this whole bill if the summary eviction provision is removed. In case of necessity, the government, like any other private individual, can go to the law court. Secondly, in regard to unauthorized occupation also, this provision has been made in clause 4C. This new clause becomes a little difficult to understood in the sense that a man is unauthorized although a previous authority had authorized him to occupy that premises or that house. Now the government seeks to get the power to even declare that man who at one time had been authorized to be now unauthorized. This is also a very inconvenient provision as far as the poor people are concerned. Well, I know that once government bring a measure before this house, government rarely want to retrace their steps. The government is determined to have this bill passed. If the house had been left free, probably it would reject it, and this amending bill will never be passed, but by the employment of whip, they would be able to pass it. I would in that case submit to the Honourable Minister that when such occasions arise, when a person has to be evicted, alternative accommodation should be provided to such an unfortunate person near his place of occupation and near the place where he has got work. Of course, the Honorable Health Minister, as a lady and also as a humanitarian, and because of the portfolio she holds, is very kind hearted, and she has given us a very special assurance that these people will be given every facility and it will be treated as a human problem even after passing the bill. She has also told us how under the new conditions people have appreciated the position. But even then, why are these people living in the slums? They are living there because they have no other means. The Honorable Health Minister just now told us that they have been given accommodation in a better place where ordinarily they would have to pay rupees 12. Now they are charged only rupees 6 or half the rate for such poor people.